now we can do drilling. Now, drilling, the main idea in what people find the most difficult is keeping it straight. Now, this is a thin book. You won't have much of an issue. It's thin and new, so it's very good. But a thicker or older book will have more give back and forth like that. And if that would be bad, because if you put a drill here, and then it would come out past the groove. You want it to go in the little groove in the book where the hinge opens and come out that same place on the other side. So, I mean, and if you don't, a lot of times if you don't, and sometimes it comes out either here or here, that's fine. You just put it, as long as you did this one in the groove, you could just turn it over and, trace a line where you started the hole and then go straight in through the groove, and then eventually, the two holes will meet. Even if this one hole's like this, you go again straight and they'll meet and then just thread it through that hole. So you make a mental note of where your tape is by noticing, you can have two eyes. You can see one eye on the tape and one eye on the outside of the book, and just noticing where the tape starts. You want to get a little bit into the tape, about that big. The tape ends here. And just put it. One swift, thing does it. And there, see, it comes out. You have two holes, one on one side and one on the other. I don't know if you can see that, but that's, that keeps it strong. Let's do it on this side. Alright, so now we're ready to do the threading. Okay, so, oops. So here you take your needle and your string and thread it. A lot of practice makes it look easy. You want to start from the back bottom of the book, so the knot is least obtrusive, noticeable, because it will leave a little bulge. Get it in there. Start in the back. It's figure 8. You're going to go in the back, back out, and you'll see. Hole there, go through, there you go, that's it. Sometimes you'll pierce through the string as you're going through this hole because there's already a string there. That's not an issue. You just, kind of make sure that it's through. You'll feel if you went through, and if it did go through, you can just pull it up like this, and then it will be stuck inside. You'll see that they'll be stuck together, and then it wouldn't be, you'll just pull it out like that, and it'll come out of the other string. It's not an issue. Now here, and here's the tricky part for getting two knots that aren't, two knots as tight as possible. So you start out with the loose one, and put the loose one in front of the long one, and bring it under, right? And then you bring the knot as close to the hole as possible. Get a good grip on the loose string that you're going to be holding, and with this string, you want to pull it down below where the knot's going to be. Get a grip here, and then pull it tight, and then bring the top string forward. So this is forward, and you want to bring it forward also. And now with my right hand, I'm going to give a little bit of lax, and then it will lock into place. It's kind of, it's a back and forth thing. But once that happens, that single knot is locked in place, which doesn't, I don't get to lose any of that looseness, and I could just do another one of these and make it into a box knot. And if it's tight, pull it real tight there. Make sure you didn't lose any of the tightness by just rubbing your fingers against that. And at this point, you may want to check, that everything is okay on the inside and that the book opens nicely. And if you want it to stay open, then that would be a good time to check. Sometimes the book, the pages are too thick to stay open, so you just don't have that option. This book is a good book. Let me snip that. Save these if you want. Keep the book here. And then we want to melt the strings, being careful not to melt these because then you'll have to do the whole thing over again. Just want to melt them right up to the knot itself. And once it's there, to minimize the bulge, just tap it a little bit, you'll figure out how you know, when it's still soft but not hot, you won't burn yourself. So that's that. That's the process. That's the binding process. Now you just do the taping. And you want to leave about an inch on each side to tuck it in, depending on how much room you left inside over the book. And just double that for the other side. You want to get it, you know, somewhere where it shows the words nicely. That's fine. Now here's the reason why we left it open in the inside, is because now we're going to take this and use our finger here and just drag nicely across the top so that it's flush, no air bubbles. And then, being that we left this open, we can now pull the book back, cover back, excuse me, and then just, you know, smooth it out down there. Now you have this corner that's protected by the full piece of tape we put there, and now another piece of tape that's coming over, so that's held in by the book itself. So this, even when the glue eventually dries, which, you know, the adhesive will, you know, dry up, it's still held in by the book, so it won't peel off. And this corner won't ever, you know, I can yank at this as much as I want, and it will never give, you know, I mean, you know, in a normal, you know, level of usage, it won't give. And do the same with this side. That's that. Do the other side. And making sure that there's no air bubble. Now sometimes that ribbon will get in the way, so you can either ignore it and just do the tape or pull it out. I'm going to ignore it, but it doesn't really make a difference for the book. Aesthetics only. I don't even know why they put it in there. But there again. Let's move it out of the way this time. There you go. Yep. And that's it. And the great thing about this is that you still can see what the book is, even though if you don't have the full word, you can still get, you know, what the idea is. It'll take a lot of abuse where most books can. Most books don't. Most people, if you don't do the right, if you don't cut this area right here, you don't have an ability to get a full level of tape, a full layer of tape around, and not only once but twice. And I mean, that's where the most vulnerable part of a bound book is the corners, because the book is going to stay together unless this whole cover comes off, and then it's of no use. So this is the best method that I've come to know. So there you have it. Enjoy.